I want to thank you. What we expected was just a few minutes of your time for two reasons. One, to just let you know that our operation at the Lebanon location is going strong, and we have some information that I think Laurie provided to you we'd like to go over very quickly. But more importantly, we'd like to hear from you if there is anything that we could be doing differently or better, anything you hear from your constituents, anything in the county, anything that you believe we could be doing with the county that we currently are from a training perspective or whatever it may be. So it is one to say thank you for your support. We know that you all have been very supportive of us and the location and the college and our students. And again, just to give you an update on the college and then to see if there's anything that you need from us or anything that we could be doing from what you've heard. That simple. If it takes an hour and a half, we're here an hour and a half. If it takes 7 minutes, we're here 7 minutes. And so I would like to, first of all, Laurie Brandt is the representative from Lebanon to the College Board, and Tom Richey is our board chairman of the Board of Trustees, and Laurie Bowersox, the campus leader. So that's the news. I don't know if our board members, our esteemed board members, have anything to say. But
Just thank you for your time. We appreciate it, and I think we enjoy a good rapport with the county commissioners, with the county government, and look forward to continuing that and enhancing that and moving forward. Lebanon is one of our 5 campuses, as you know, and it's rock solid, and we'll continue to try and grow it. Very good.
Anything on the horizon in terms of new offerings or any thoughts along those lines?
Sure. So some new offerings will start this January with a computer information science 1-year certificate program. So folks that wish to get into help desk, IT, and those areas that we know are high need for banking and other organizations around our county, will have a 1-year certificate program where they can come get those basic courses. If they then wish to continue, once they're employed, they can continue by taking our associates program, and then if they wish to continue beyond associates, transfer that to LBC and several other institutions locally that are 4-year schools that offer a 4-year degree in informational technology or computer information science. So that's one program we'll start this January. A second program on the horizon to help our community is a program in medical assisting. We know the CTC has a very good day program and are running an evening, but we also know they're turning away droves of people, and we know our hospitals and others are very high need of medical assisting. So, and especially because we educate so many folks that are bilingual, our hope is that we can work with our students to do a bilingual medical assisting, but also medical assisting for anybody in the evening, part-time. It'll take about 10 to 11 months to complete, but the hope is then again, good credentials, get out and get a good paying job. And that program will start in August of next year, so August of 2019. So those are our 2 biggest, newest programs on the horizon, along with some other work we're doing in math programming and other courses that we're completing now at the campus that you previously couldn't complete in education, criminal justice, and human services, all to support our community.
Now, education, you still offer just a 2-year program?
that is correct.
Correct. It's a 2-year program, but it's built that it transfers to LBC, Millersville, and several other institutions locally or within our region that students could transfer to for their 4-year degree if they so choose.
Match up the courses?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. What's your list? Questions?
No, I stop in when I have a question.
I know I see lots.
When you list top contributing high schools, what does that mean, contributing?
So contributing high schools would be high schools that upon graduation, we can track that they graduated from that school district and then came to HACC, either 1 year, 3 year, 5 years later. So these are the top 3 school districts of the 6 public schools and then also the private schools we work with in Lebanon County that contribute students to our current population of students enrolled.
You know, as a parent, I can appreciate the value of HACC, period, because it's close, you don't have to, room and board and all that. But are the guidance counselors, do they cooperate to the extent that you feel they should? I mean, that maybe sounded like a loaded question, because to get the interest in HACC, to take the advantage of the quality, but also the value, just from a cost basis, it would be great, because then, you're a student at LBC or whatever, you graduate with a 4-year ticket. And I guess I'm just wondering, are they in sync with, two-year community colleges pretty well? Is that?
Sure. We work really closely with the school districts, and they are.
Good.
We meet with them frequently. We have an admissions counselor that goes and sits in the high school offices, sometimes once a week if they want that, sometimes once a month if that's what they want. So we accommodate whatever needs they have. So we do a lot of work. If it's not our admissions counselor, it's myself or our academic dean that are going out and working with the school districts. Not only the high school principal, the high school counselors, but the superintendents as well. So we work very closely to answer and deal with any concerns, questions, and needs that they have.
And Bob, twice a year on all our campuses, the counselors come on campus for a breakfast, and there's 1 or 2, maybe 3 of the top programs that they're introduced to or reintroduced to, and then there's an hour, hour and a half of good dialogue between the counselors and the college recruiters, so that we kind of understand each other, and when they go back, they have a better idea of what's
There's
going on.
so much visibility to the school loan issue, and boy, that would put a big dent in that.
Yes,
More-
yes.
You're hitting on one of the best marketing pieces I think that HACC has, and that is $6,000 a year, each year for the first 2 years, as opposed to $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 at a 4-year school. You have automatic reciprocity with over 90 4-year institutions, and people really care where that 4th year, what you graduate from, and they don't really understand the first 2 years as being that important. But you can save a tremendous amount of money. It's a real financial gain for families.
Yeah, I think for a lot of young people, it's a nice transition too, from rather than going miles away as a freshman. Eases that transition into college, I think.
On the fast fact sheet, you'll see where it says we have a 1-to-14 ratio for student to the professor. So with that small a class size, our students get a lot of personal one-on-one attention. We also know our students really well, and I can speak to that because I'm also an adjunct faculty member at the college. We work very closely with our students. We know them personally, and we follow up with them even beyond the first semester we have them, or the semester they might take courses with us. And a lot of our students, if they create a rapport, and they generally do with their professor, if that professor teaches 3, 4, 5 courses, and those courses will help them graduate, they tend to stay with that same professor because they love the rapport that they form. So we have a great relationship with our students, not only inside but beyond just the semester we might teach them. And it's because of the 1-to-14 ratio that we average.
I do have a solution to the #1 challenge for you, which is the P word.
Uh-huh. Yes.
Parking has been a historically difficult thing down there, and I'm just kidding that I have a solution.
Oh,
Much like
so
your-
hopeful.
Looks like your $500,000, I figured I had. But the meters that are around, have you ever approached as far as figuring out how much the revenue is for those meters, and just pull the meters? And, that would be within a reasonable distance, because it just seems that is the enduring, perennial there at HACC is the parking challenge. So you really, growing is prohibitive, because of that issue. And you're gonna hurt what's there even more if you do get some success in growth. So I don't know, I'm just saying, back, they used to get $250,000 a year from the parking revenues, which used to be part of a parking fund, and then they moved that over to the general fund to use for operations, so that's why they can't do without it as easily. But I don't know if there's what the revenue is for the ones that would benefit HACC and the parking, but that might be it. They're always looking for creative ways to bring people downtown, and the #1 challenge for the whatever retailers are down there is parking as well, at least the perception is. So just
Great, thank you. We'll follow up.
Your dual enrollment numbers are up over 17 to 18. Is that a consistent up?
It is.
More than
And
further
what we're
out?
seeing, it's because more of the high schools want to offer their students a better variety of classes. So they're looking towards the college and the high school courses where we're offering our classes in the high school during their high school day. And the reason they're enjoying that is they're giving the college experience but within their high school kind of walls. But it also allows their faculty to understand the needs of a college level student. So I'm a high school faculty member, I've taught high school my whole life, but now I'm credentialed as an adjunct faculty member for HACC, and now I see beyond my walls what's required to teach college courses. Many of them then become adjuncts for us in the evening or during the summer, but it's really growing because so many high schools want to see if they have that chance and opportunity to provide as many college credit earning for their students as they can. So it used to, years ago, just be AP. Now it's AP, college and the high school, really building as many college credits as they can for their seniors.
And knowing how full a high schooler's schedule can be, do they typically just do 1 or 2 of those, I guess, in a senior year, or?
It really depends on the student. We have some students that have done 5 because their entire second half of their senior year, they're on campus the whole time with us or at their own school doing college and the high school. So they may do dual enrollment at our campus their second half of their senior year, taking 5 classes because they all meet their graduation requirements, but at the same time, there was nothing they needed to take to meet those graduation requirements at the high school, so they're getting a huge jump start on their next year of freshman, sophomore year of college. So it just depends on the student. We've had students successfully, I know there's a few more coming this year, that have completed an associate's degree, and they'll actually get that associate's degree before they get their high school diploma. So it just depends on the student and what they wish to obtain. But the value is amazing when you look at the credit cost.
Yeah, see that.
For what it's worth, Jeffrey Roach says hi.
Oh.
And Scott Little says, I'm laying over in Philly, watching this is better than a lot of other things. So we're doing this live, so I just thought I'd give you some of the comments that are coming through.
Hello, Jeffrey, thank you.
Any highlights, 2, 3 highlights on the Lebanon campus by the members?
Sure, well, we touched on a few of them already, which is our student to faculty ratio of the 1 to 14. Some other really important highlights, Jamie kind of asked that question about our contributing schools and the cost of our dual enrollment. But one other one I will point out that we're really proud of is some of our modern classrooms that we've been creating over the past few years. We've really been investing in the campus to create more modern, high-tech classrooms that engage our student learners in a way that they will be seeing in their workplace. So we're excited about that. And one piece that we've really added, thanks to our HACC Foundation, is a one-button studio. So you walk in, you put a flash drive in, push a button, and you can record a video, as simple as that. When you're done, you push the button again, it stops, pull out your flash drive, and you have a YouTube editable video that you can put anywhere you need to. And our professors are using that to put videos into their classes, to put videos that they might have up on an online course. So we're seeing that really being used in a positive way. We have students using it for their communications classes. That's how they're delivering their speech. But we're also seeing it used as an adaptive technology. If I'm a student that we know has PTSD or other areas where getting up in front of a large crowd will literally prevent me from being successful, they're able to record their video and through modifications through their professor, use that recorded video to complete that graded course. So it's really neat to see those adaptations and modifications happening. We also have local organizations that have asked to use that studio because that recording ability is something they can't do and they don't have the money to do it. So they use that, and we ask that they make sure they would thank the HACC Foundation for the usage of the one-button studio. So we have a lot of nonprofits, including local library, domestic violence, and SARC that have used our studio in the past. So we're excited about that high-tech piece that we have at the campus. One other highlight that we're really proud of is a pantry that we have for our students. And it's thanks to partnerships with Lebanon Christian Ministries, Calvary Chapel, and others that we have that pantry. And it's really to offset any concerns our students might have for food insecurity. It's not a full kitchen, it's just snacks and some fresh fruit, some toiletries, soaps, lotions, those things. But it's there for our students, no questions asked. They walk in, they check in so we can keep tallies, so we know how many students are using the facility and taking advantage of it. They can get a plastic bag then, they can use their book bag, they go back to the area, they can take as much or as little as they need. So maybe they just want a bottle of water, maybe they just want an iced tea, maybe they want some Doritos, they want, today it happens to be peppermint Twinkies that we have, or whatever else. It looks like a small mini mart back there in a space that's a really kind of private space. Students take what they want, put it in their bag, they walk out, no questions asked. We don't look for proof of whether or not they financially meet any needs. If they're a student, they have access to that pantry, and we're really proud of it, and thanks to the partners who have helped us build that pantry. It grew from just a few items to it's a full, probably about a 10 by 14 room, and it's growing more every day, and it's thanks to partners in the community that have seen the value and see what our students need. When we opened it in July, we had 7 students the entire month take advantage. Last month, we had over 200 students stop in. On average, we have 10 to 15 students a day stopping in. So we're really thrilled about that. So that's a big highlight for us, beyond the amazing students that we serve.
It's a nice hometown touch.
Thank you.
Well, we appreciate your investment in Lebanon, and glad to hear that you're rock solid, and hope that you can grow and prosper.
Thank you very much. As we do the county.
Thank you.
So as the county goes, the college goes.
Yeah, Jamie, can you have that check drawn in before they leave?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ames. Thank you. Well, again, thank you for what you're doing as well.
Thank you folks for doing it.
Would you mind, before we leave, we have a photo? Would that be okay?
Sure.